This Week in Blizz is proudly sponsored by DoghouseSystems.com. If you use the code TWIB at checkout, that's TWIB, you will get double memory on your next Doghouse system. We thank DoghouseSystems.com for their support of This Week in Blizz. And also TweakedAudio.com. Go to TweakedAudio.com for high-performance, noise-reducing earbuds. Use our code TWIB to get 30% off plus free shipping on your next order, and support This Week in Blizz in the process.
Armed and ready. Who wants some?
This Week in Blizz.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 62nd episode of This Week in Blizz. I'm Garrett Weinzerl.
I'm Ben Zweifel.
And I'm Kyle Ferguson.
And this is the show keeping you up to date on the worlds of Blizzard Entertainment. And we have a show. I don't know what I wanted to hype up today, so I'm going to fail miserably at it and just tell you, we've got a show talking about things loosely wrapped in a blizzardy blanket.
Man, that was so close. I almost sneezed directly into the mic right as I was meant to do the intro. That was
Nice.
A lot of self-control right there.
Gotcha. Well, nonetheless, good job there, Ben. That was real professional. If you hadn't said anything, I would have never known.
Yep.
So way to break that wall for the audio listeners at home. So
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. How's everyone doing today? We let's see. We had a holiday weekend. I think a lot of us had a long weekend. One of us works from home, so I'm not sure it was any different for you.
Nope. I worked a lot, actually.
Oh, all right.
The deadline, right?
That's a shame. But how was everyone's Independence Day? Did you fly a jet up into a mothership or destroy an entire alien race with a Mac virus?
Can't say that I did.
Nope. But tell you what, it's a good way to spend it.
It is. I've got to get me one of these.
Yeah. Punch an alien in the desert.
Welcome to Earth.
Yep.
So that's
one of the great moments in cinematic history, right?
right up there with Rosebud and
right, exactly.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, what was a culturally amazing movie from the '90s?
Independence Day.
Jurassic Park.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
There you go. Okay, that's a very good point. That is a very that memory of first seeing that film is burned into my mind. I will never forget that. I was sick. It was a school day, and my dad took a day off work to take me to see it. I never got to stay home. I had to be bleeding from my eyes. B, my father hates movie theaters, so he never took me to see movies. So it was a really special occasion.
Double extra special. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I remember having to go to the theater and choosing between Jurassic Park 3 and Planet of the Apes remake. So that's my memory of Jurassic Park.
Decisions.
A thrilling indecision.
Skipping the memory of the first two completely, going straight to the worst of the three.
No, I've told my Jurassic Park story before. I can't reuse that.
Oh, okay. I don't remember it, so I guess that explains. I guess it's not that memorable.
Oh, no.
Guess your anecdotes just aren't that funny and cute.
No, I guess not.
Way to go, Kyle. God.
I guess not.
The Kyle real life story I always remember is him talking about how he wasn't allowed to have his console during the week, so he'd just sit there and read game manuals until the weekend. That's the thing I always remember because
sounds like something I would totally do.
Yeah, it's similar because I would be when I got grounded, I'd be grounded from the Sega, so I would read my manuals until I was ungrounded.
Yep.
So
sure, not much has changed. Now I just read that stuff during work.
Which
Work,
is a
the
lot
new Grounded, the adult version of Grounded, right?
Except you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
But right now, Kyle's boss is listening, and tomorrow he's going to have a lot more free time. Good stuff. Well, anyways, let's talk.
No. I mean, I have left a trail of Blizzard-themed computers through my workplace. For some reason, every couple months they change my desk and they don't move my computer. So there's got to be 5 or 7 different themed, like one's full purple, Heart of the Swarm. One's like from a year ago, and it's all Legacy of the Boy. Like
you can date them exactly by like what patch they're referring to. Oh, look, Rise of the Zandalari.
That's funny. It's a long time. That's how my desktops were at college, Kyle. Oh, I had that, Fall of the Lich King patch wallpaper for so long.
Yeah. They don't do those so much anymore.
No, they keep doing. They just had one for the most recent patch.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. They do them. I guess I don't know. Maybe we don't notice it as much because I just recently noticed it. I was looking for new wallpapers the other day. I'm like, oh, when did this come out? So I don't know. It happens. It happens. So, anyways, on the subject of Blizzard things, but not quite getting into the news, the three of us are all kind of into WoW. I feel the hardest we've been for a while. Well, I mean, Ben, you never really slowed down, but
arguably, I'm kind of doing it now, slowing down. I mean,
yeah. Well, compared to power leveling a monk so that you could start tanking, I guess so. But you're still in a weekly raid,
right? Yeah, I know, but that's still pretty low key for a lot of people.
No, I don't know people and. I find a lot of people around our age are kind of in the same boat. Anyways, Kyle, how you liking the Discipline Priest, man? You're back and swinging or smiting, shall I say?
Well, can I just explain something real quick before we get started? So as we get into this, we did. Kyle is a very lucky person when it comes to drops. I just want to make that clear. I think it'll become more evident when he explains more of what he's been doing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but it was just kind of interesting to watch it go down.
Yeah, I guess to preface our discussion here, we've been playing a lot of WoW over the past week. Since the last episode, Kyle has sits dung 90 on his Discipline Priest and made the plunge into LFR. And Kyle, take it away, sir. Or should I say, take it away, you bastard.
Well, first of all, you guys were already prepared to get me up to the score I needed to do that immediately. I mean, I had to do nothing. I sat there and had items thrown at me and maybe was told to go buy one thing at the auction house for myself.
Dude, I hoard gems and metal like crazy for this very reason.
Yeah, so it was a given tree. I mean, I got to 90 and bam, I was ready to raid that night. Wait till the next day and raid with Ben and Oathmaster. And out of the 8 bosses we did, I got 7 things.
With no coins, mind you. Like,
that was the question.
Because
every boss, it was like, you get something, he was like, I guess I'm upgrading my helmet. I guess I'm getting a new weapon. I guess I'm doing this. And it was
Ben's this next boss, all he has is like a dumb necklace for you. You probably won't even get, oh, hey, I got the necklace.
That's what I was going to ask you, because we talked briefly earlier today off stream. And you were telling me about how lucky you were. Like, dude, I got out of the 8 bosses I killed, I got dropped seven times. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh wow. And then it didn't click until I was like driving home from work. I'm like, wait a minute, how the hell did he have any coins? I don't know how he had coins. None. He had no coins, and he still got 7 out of 8 drops. That's pretty ridiculous. So,
great. Yeah. I will tell you're probably in the upper percentile
of luck.
Yeah, of getting drops in the thing.
Did you get anything really sweet? Did you get like a weapon or anything, or?
No, Ben made me what dragon maw mace. For me, it's an old blacksmithing pattern from BC for rogues.
Was it a rogue one?
Originally, yeah. Or the crafting one anyway. I think you could get it out of.
They're all, that whole series of weapons is all from BC and all of the same era. And just revitalize them.
Yeah, my sword on my rep pally, Kyle, is like the old Lionheart model. I just since transmogged it because it clashes with my set.
Oh yeah, because I was looking so hot with this new dragon mace, I had to get myself a fan in the other hand.
Cool yourself off, right?
That's great. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
See, you need to roll a frost mage, Kyle, and you won't have that problem.
Yeah.
Well, I told you my problem with frost mages.
The fact that it's a mage and you only have to hit like 2 buttons.
Well, that there's a water elemental and it's a frost mage, not a water mage.
Should be an ice elemental, right?
I would make the argument that water is required for ice, Kyle.
Yes, but in Pokemon, ice was beaten by fire and water beat fire, so there was a big difference there. All I'm saying is that if you cone of cold with your water elemental standing in the way, he should become a frost archon or something.
That would be awesome.
That would be so badass.
That would be so incredibly cool.
Even if it did nothing, if it was completely flavored, that would make me so happy.
Get on
Yeah.
that.
Oh, damn it. Blizzard, hire this man,
Or
but
like-
don't.
like-
We need him as a co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do take you away.
Yeah.
Welcome to
You're doing a show.
Blizzard. You can't be interviewed by anyone.
Yeah.
But, you
Well,
know,
isolate
went and
people.
got my new Alchemist Stone, got the new boots by climbing the mountain and doing the Battlefield Barons thing. That was the saddest part. I've enjoyed being on the Alliance. I love being a gnome. I'm so damn unique. I've seen maybe like one gnome every time I log on, other than myself.
Yeah.
I book
not a
everywhere
lot.
I go. I look like I'm moving as fast as hell when I got my buffs up. Grabbing people who are about to fall through the stars in that one dragon star area with my leap. I mean, I was feeling great. But then I get to the damn Barons and I remember, oh, I wish I was a troll to talk to Vol'jin here.
Except you can talk to Vol'jin anyway.
Yeah, but he's like, lions, I don't know. And it's like,
Right. You want to be, his people.
yeah, right. You want to do the secret handshake, the two-fingered handshake?
Well, you just gotta role play it, man. You know, you're a priest. You got seduced by some dark magic. It went wrong. All of a sudden, you go to Vegas. Something happens. You wake up in the morning and you're a
just
gnome.
wearing a really good disguise, right? You just wink
Well,
at him. be
I've
like,
already
"Eh?
worked
Eh?"
out. I've already worked out the whole lore for it. If you guys
okay,
really
so-
want to know.
I
Yeah, no,
absolutely
love
want
to.
to know. Yeah, hit us with
Please.
it, Kyle.
Oh, well, Taras was too old. Back in Wrath of the Lich King, I changed his hair to white. So 2 expansions later, he's an old-ass man. Went to Vol'jin. Vol'jin said, you're too old to fight, Tarask. So Tarask went to the goblins and had them build him a machine that could transport him back in time, but it didn't work. It turned him into a gnome. A younger gnome, though. So now I can fight for the Alliance.
Wonderful.
That's good. I like it.
It's nice. That's what the goblins get, man, for stealing gnomish engineering and claiming it as their own.
Yeah, not putting
Yeah.
faces all over it. Those guys are nasty. I hope that when the new models finally show up, whatever day that is, that I don't have rubber arms like the darn goblins do.
I think they're meant to be sort of comical in nature. You know what I mean? They are kind of gangly, long-limbed weirdos.
Boogers.
They look
Yeah.
very much like the evil gremlins from Gremlins.
Right, but that's totally the persona that they have. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I
works
dig
well for them.
I dig the goblin model. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
And I honestly just don't think you can make gnomes look cool. So
I don't think they have to look cool. I think they have to look mildly amusing.
yeah, I'm just glad that someone I play with regularly is playing a gnome. Now I can finally complete my Fellowship of the Ring fantasy of having a halfling running around with me.
Well, and you and I need to go to Black Temple, get some loots,
We do. We
get dressed up.
We've already been making a laundry list of all the transmog runs we want to run, and we really want to do BT, ICC 10-man heroic, and next Ramus 25-man regular.
Ulduar is a nice priest set too.
Oh yeah, that was a cool set. That had like the black like
The cowl, like
Yeah.
in front of the face.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
came
that was
up
one of my
over your
favorites.
nose.
Yeah, it wasn't super recognizable as a priest set, but it was very cool.
yeah, the cowl almost looked like it could be a rogue.
Yeah, it was very sort of
Yeah.
ominous.
But it had the
So-
white collar that blended with the robe and looked very nice when you had the complete set.
Yeah, it looks really funny on Undead because it just hangs straight down. So Kyle, are you going to be taking advantage of the new priest glyph that anytime you heal anyone, it puts angel wings on them?
That's happening. I saw the one that was going on for Feather.
It's called Glyph of the Feather, I believe, and I believe it's anytime you direct heal someone.
Oh, I guess I only read the name of the glyph and was like, oh, that's for Feather. I don't use that. Moving on.
I believe it's every time you
directly heal someone, huh?
Yep.
I think Ben's looking it up right now.
I mean,
sure,
it
yeah.
sounds like a minor. Yeah, sure. I mean, what am
that's
I going
totally
to
what
get
it
rid
is,
of? Like, confession?
Glyph of Feathers. Your heal spells momentarily grant you angelic wings. Oh, they grant you angelic wings. I thought
Oh,
they.
then I'll just be sporting wings the whole time with evangelicism. That'll look great. I'm
Yep.
tiny. The wings look great on me. They're giant.
Yep. They don't look like a Victoria's Secret.
Exactly. That was my big problem with that. And then the shadow ones were even worse because I really felt like I was in lingerie then.
Doesn't help that I wear a corset on my Shadow Priest. Yep. Good stuff. I'm that guy, everyone. I'm that dude on a female night elf in the auction house wearing a corset.
wearing black mage weave set. Yep.
Yep. That's like the best stuff I had. I leveled that priest a long time ago from like 20 to 40. I got quite attached to that set. That and the robes of Arogal. Because way back in the day, this is for the newbies out there, Sylvanas used to be a night elf wearing the robes of Arogal. So it was pretty cool when you had the whole set.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now she looks totally bitchin'. They need to put that elf model in the game as playable. It's too freaking cool.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I think that's for most of the races, really.
Oh yeah, we both of us, Ben, recently got the trinket from Throne of Thunder, the strength trinket, and when it procs, you turn into one of the new troll models.
Yeah,
that is a badass model.
Which is a fantastic model, and it's a great proc. Except as a Worgen, what it does. So when you pop hero or heroism or whatever, usually screen moves up, right? And it's a distinct visual indicator that you've popped hero. Mm-hmm. And that your damage is about to improve, right? This is the opposite. Because the troll model is smaller than my Worgen, the screen shrinks down. And it just feels like I'm getting like underpowered. And it's kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, the trinket procs.
Mine makes like almost no difference whatsoever, which I find
it's probably the
since
same
I'm
height
human.
as... Right, but...
You would think a troll would be taller, but...
Yeah, I know, but it's not the actual troll models. Plus, they're real hunched over, Where your camera angle
not
is
the
not
new one, sir. Have you seen the trolls in Throne of Thunder?
Yeah, true.
Apparently, Li Shen bestowed upon them the gift of no more scoliosis.
It's working out great for them. A lot of lightning somehow in the side effect, but
yeah,
that shock therapy is working out great.
There you go.
But the camera angle is not necessarily entirely dependent on the height of the character. But I imagine each race has its own custom sort of camera angle that goes with it to make it look good.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a case for gnomes. Have you taken advantage of the fact that as a gnome, Kyle, in any of the like old ass inns, or I remember being out in the Plaguelands where they were the destroyed inns, you're the only race that can run into fireplaces.
I can't say that I have, though. I certainly have
skill.
Laid in beds to great gluttoncy.
Because you actually fit.
Yeah, my feet don't hang over the edge.
Very funny. Yeah, I went to go give Kyle one of the blues I made with Jewel Crafting the other day. He's like, I'm laying in bed. I'm like, dude, I really don't want to, present you with a ring while you're laying in bed. It's kind of creepy. Glad this isn't an RP server. So, anyways, it's not about our personal lives of World of Warcraft. Let's see what's in the news this week. So last week we talked briefly about the plans Blizzard were making to change arena teams coming in patch 5.4, and we have since gotten a much larger look at what they're planning to do. Recently over on the official World of Warcraft site, they put up a patch 5.4 arena update talking about all of the changes that will be coming to arenas in patch 5.4. And guys, I'm really excited about this. It's bringing it in line with what we are used to with StarCraft matchmaking.
Yeah,
there's no
it's very much that flavor.
With the exclusion of the three major regions. Well, there's more than three, I think. I'm thinking of WCS, but
do not confuse the two.
There's so many things about WCS that confuse me, but there's no artificial barriers, and I really don't think there should be, and they're getting rid of them. So awesome.
Yep.
It's great. So basically what they're doing, I mean, as it is now, if you go into arena team, first off, you need a pre-made team. You need to go buy a team charter and come up with a name that isn't offensive like my idiot friend that got banned, and have a lockdown roster. And then when you go to queue for an arena, you are limited to your battle group as it currently stands, and they're getting rid of that.
Yeah, our battle group was pretty large though, and I think had some very good people in it.
Okay.
I believe the Whirlwind battle group, I don't know this for a fact, but I've heard it anecdotally, is that the Whirlwind battle group is sort of coveted by PvPers.
Gotcha. Well, this doesn't really take anything away from it because you'll still rank up as usual. And
Oh
be
yeah, no,
matched against
it'll be
people
more
you-
competitive if anything because you're ranking up against everybody else. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? If you're super good and at the pinnacle of everything, then yeah, it's great for you.
Yeah. They said, and to quote them, that in the upcoming patch 5.4, we're building on technological improvements we've made over time, such as region-wide matchmaking, to expand the pool of competitors and improve the arena experience, yada, yada, yada. Which is great. If you're out there, I know a lot of World of Warcraft players are not necessarily inclined to play StarCraft and vice versa for that matter. But StarCraft the matchmaking is awesome. You never wait more than a minute in most cases. To
Right,
find a
and
match.
that in part has a lot to do with the volume of players and a lot of other issues that you're dealing with. But what it does remarkably well is keep you at a sort of a very fair place. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's ways to get into like get lucky, or somebody's deliberately tanking their rating, and you end up in like I'm in Diamond League, and I definitely should not be, which is less of a fun experience, but at least it corrects for it fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, but this will have the same effect. Removing the barrier of battle groups is only going to add more players to a larger pool.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's a great change, and I'm happy about it in general, and so should everybody else.
Yeah. But that aside, we talked about last week, you will no longer need to join or create an arena team.
So it makes the gameplay better, but it removes the touch of the flavor.
Just a hair.
But frankly, calling yourself whatever stupid name that you chose is not really a lot of flavor that you're adding. It's just whatever stupid name that you chose.
Yeah, which I really honestly didn't care until you just put it that way. Now I want to name my 2v2 team in StarCraft. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, Ben. Now I want to do that.
I would be all over that. That'd be tremendous.
We could just change it every week to whatever the title of StarCast is that week, Kyle.
Well, that'd be a lot of work. We don't even update our group page, so let's not promise anything here. But yeah, it is sad to see another personality trait of the game go away. I mean, this is absolutely legitimate, and it'll work out great, and you can still group as a group for this, so there's no reason that things can't continue as always.
I feel like the argument that this is a personality trait of the game works great in theory until you actually look at the top-ranked arena teams and see what they're called.
Just a series of numbers.
No, well, yeah, right. Barcodes. Can you imagine? How great would that be?
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
But something in Russian, or are you ready for this? Team no dispersion. Pella good class.
Yeah, you know what? I'm give it the steak right now. I will not miss this.
Yeah. ASD ADSASD.
Well, that was like our run
smashing
with
up the keyboard, right?
That was like our run with Pally Lover Friday, and it's like, well, congratulations. You could have fallen asleep on the keyboard and found a better name.
I was about to say this sounds only like a positive for me because gone are the days of losing miserably to a 3v3 team named Super High 420 Good Times.
Yeah, that's basically what most of these are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although less naming, more gaming is not bad.
It's bad.
It's
It's
bad.
pretty awful.
Sure. It's not the same environment anymore. I mean, to complain about that is just kind of stupid. It's one thing to complain about that sort of thing when back in BC, I needed to fly myself all the way into Jagged Mountain Land, Blood.
Blades Edge Mountain, you boob.
Yes,
No,
there we
sorry.
go.
Jagged Mountain Blood is not an inappropriate name. There's
Jagged Mountain Bloodland.
probably one of the worst zones in the game. It is like my least favorite area.
I loved Blades Edge Mountain.
I've only ever
loved it.
leveled through it, mind you, but it is an awful experience every time.
Oh,
You
I
never did
avoid it
dailies
like
there,
the
did you, Garrett?
I know. The dailies can burn in hell, but I loved the
Okay.
leveling there. I liked the flavor. That was where you had the Starship Troopers quest. That was so
but
cool.
It so totally didn't fit. Nothing there. It's just like a nonsense.
All right, well,
I don't
you're
know.
entitled to be wrong, and I appreciate it.
At any rate, back when I fought some dude named Pizza Face, who I'll never forget, because it was only your server that was in the arena team in the first place. So we would get in the arena match, wait 10, 15 minutes maybe, but eventually another group actually showed up next to us, and we fought them probably about 12 times in a row. And it was a good time. We could holler at each other when it was over and blah, blah, blah. But now that that's gone, and now that you just queue up for it wherever you happen to be standing, the team name doesn't matter anymore.
No, it's and I honestly, being such a fan of team games in StarCraft, I'm really excited to have a similar system being brought into WoW where I just party with whoever the hell I want, and we can just jump in and have a good time. No longer are you worried about, like, well, I don't want to add this guy because his gear isn't as good. You can literally just go in and have fun. It doesn't really matter.
Right, and we trust Blizzard already. I have played so many games, and there are so many great, like, PvP player versus player games out there. I love natural selection, but there is no matchmaking feature.
Mm-hmm.
It's all based on, like, you buy a new game on Steam, you're like, wow, I'm so excited to play this. And you go to hit multiplayer, what pops up? Server lists.
Oh, I know. It's the worst.
And you're like,
we're so spoiled.
Well, I'm done.
I was like, wow, I haven't seen this since the original Counter-Strike.
Yeah, oh, look, dust. Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because you're absolutely right. I mean, it's still that way in, like, Team Fortress, for crying out loud. The way Blizzard handles matchmaking and player versus player in all of their games is wonderful. I love it, and I want more of it.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it, but I have to mention these arena teams again real quick, because I'm looking at some of their win rates and stuff, and they're like 93-4.
Holy shit!
I know, but they're like all like that. Like it's
God.
Yeah, I know.
WoW is special like that. You will never see a win rate like that in StarCraft.
Can you imagine that in StarCraft?
It's just like, well, what's his name?
Yeah, I guess he's 93-4 for the season.
You look up his name, it just says Jesus. Oh, okay. I guess that explains it.
Yeah.
Who beat Jesus 4 times?
Flash.
Oh, of course. No, it was Innovation, sir. Come on.
Well, yeah, could have been either or.
At the moment. Although J-Dong just beat Innovations. Whatever. Well,
Innovation is fallible. Turns out he's actually human.
God, you've proven that the God can bleed.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
also, you're going to be able to join cross-realm groups and queue for arena matches with friends from other realms. I'm assuming I'm going to make the assumption here that we won't be able to join up with our Horde buddy.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you think that will ever go away in this game?
Unlikely. That is a pretty big flavor component.
Yeah, I was about to say,
if you break that up, I think people will be pretty upset about it.
Because there is a part of me that wishes, like, I have a lot of friends on both sides of the faction line. And part of me would like that option.
One way I could see it being done is, like, with sort of, Caverns of Time-esque, you've been transformed into a goblin, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's true.
Because there's a few of them like that, but
it's the right
like,
time for it. I mean, you go talk to Rathion, and he's like, "We need to end this war and come together and get rid of all the factions." And oh my God, no more factions next expansion.
Now they're PvPing together, but like, who are you fighting? Like, are you fighting other alliance? Like, is it alliance? Although I'd be all for that. That'd be kind of cool.
Alliance versus alliance.
Just
right,
teams.
instead of exactly, just team versus team.
I mean, yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't hate that Caverns of Time idea. It'd be interesting if you queued.
They've done it before. Is my point. It doesn't break the flavor too bad.
That'd be interesting. Like, say you queued with a buddy who was Horde, your alliance, and your queue pops, and whichever side needed the 2 players is the side that you get transformed into.
Right, but then you're starting to deal with issues like racials and, like, the fact that the factions are sort of slightly balanced around that notion, and like. Yeah. You were human and you're relying on every man for himself, and now, like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, congratulations, you're a blood elf.
Enjoy your arcane torrent, which I do miss.
Which is great, because you can silence people at least, right?
Yeah.
Get mana back. That's kind of fun.
It's great as a melee.
I feel like we could have a world like that without factions if both sides were led by Vol'jin here, but I don't trust that human guy. Whatever happens in Garrosh's hold is not going to stand.
Varian, you mean? Yeah, probably not.
Yes. Whatever happens in Orgrimmar stays.
Vol'jin taking over the alliance. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind. I like Varian. I'm down with Varian. He was a hothead in the beginning, and he's really starting to become a more level-headed leader.
With all the attention being put on the prince right now, I wouldn't be surprised if he died, if Grosh grabbed him, killed him, and that's what starts the next throw between the Horde and Alliance.
Why? I mean,
I don't think so.
Recognize the notion that
both
Grosh is bad. Like the fact that both, if anybody dies at Grosh's hand, I don't think the rest of the Horde will be blamed for it.
Yeah. What if Thrall dies, man? What if he kills Thrall? Nah, he's too much of a bitch.
Thrall.
Thrall would just smack him down.
Maybe.
All I'm saying is that Prince is in a lot of places and seeing a lot of things.
That's true, yes, hasn't he? For being like a little nerd with like this weird blonde haircut.
Yeah.
He's amongst the dorkiest character models in the game.
Do you think he'll go on to lead a faction though, or will he become neutral and go into the
I would
Kirin
be
Tor or
surprised
something?
if like Varian is killed.
Well, that's what we were talking about. I don't know. With Anduin's arc, I could see him going to one of the neutral factions.
Right, but I thought Kyle was saying that Anduin would be killed.
No, he was talking about Rin being killed. Varian.
Both friends.
Well, Varian Rin, sorry. The king! The angry man with the cool armor.
Yeah, I gotcha. I misunderstood what you were saying initially. But yeah, I see that being as more likely, and then Anduin taking over or whatever. But
can I just say I love Crash in the chat room? I will quit the game forever if Thrall dies.
That would have been a big deal, sure, back in BC or any of those, but now he's just kind of wandered off.
Right, he's like
Gandhi
doing shamany stuff, right?
He's too good for this.
He's got a wife and kid.
Yeah,
my poor Goel.
I'm about to say I never thought I'd be this okay with a break from Thrall, but I was so burnt out on Thrall after the end of Kata.
Yeah, okay. Good lord.
Yep, who knows? Anyways, that's all going on over on the official World of Warcraft website, so check it out. We more or less covered everything here. All right, let's go into rumor and speculation mode, guys. Kyle, break out the Ferguson patented tinfoil hat.
It's already out.
Wonderful.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah, because as of this last week, after some data mining, people are, and some blue posts, a lot of people are discussing the possibility of in-game purchases coming to World of Warcraft. This is all because an item called the Enduring Elixir of Wisdom was data mined, and it appears to be an item purchasable from the yet unannounced in-game store, possibly coming in patch 5.4. This item, when used, would increase XP gained by 100%, which of course led to a very active forum post, to which Zarm himself showed up and laid down this little nugget saying that we are currently exploring the possibility of adding a way for players in certain regions to make purchases directly within the game. As part of this process, elements related to this will be appearing on the PTR. We'll provide additional updates on our plans as development progresses.
Specific regions.
Exactly.
This is an Asia thing.
Are you 100% positive, though?
No, of course not. Not 100% positive.
You're saying it like it's a fact.
Right, but I mean, come on. Like they couched it in specifically the specific regions is never going to be like U.S. server, right? I mean, that's the home territory.
Right, and
it's going to be. I suspect that it will be specifically geared towards a different cultural understanding of like free to play games and stuff like that, and like how like in game purchases work, especially with Asian communities.
Right,
so
and
that's
they
why I
already
suspect that
have.
They're trying to.
They already have different models set up and
Exactly, and their rating works differently, and like all sorts of stuff, you know.
Yeah, in China, all the skeletons are fluffy unicorn plush toys.
Well, not quite, but yeah, close. But that seems like more like dealing with the censorship board rather than.
Right. Exactly. I'm just saying that. But that being said, would you guys be outraged by an in-game store or stuff like this?
Entirely depends on the pricing model.
Yeah, for me it depends on pricing, and then like how much are you winning by paying? Because obviously pay to win is the first thing everyone started shouting through their horns.
Which is dumb
for
in
me,
this situation.
For me, getting 100% XP gain, that's not really winning, because I see leveling as just a
hurdle you must overcome.
Exactly, because for me, I want to get the next level and play with my friends. And
it's not giving you gear, and it's not giving you an edge on anyone else.
Yeah,
I mean, it might increase your speed a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this not work when a new expansion comes out.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. They could easily throttle it as needed.
And they probably will.
Or it disappears from the store during that time, or whatever.
Limited time offer, only halfway through an expansion when everybody's leveling alts.
Mm-hmm. It only works from this level to that level, so if you have it laying
Yeah.
around, you can't use it. So, yeah, obviously it'd be easy to put a hold on. If it was like, pay $20 and get a best-in-slot two-handed weapon, okay.
Yeah.
I'd
That-
be less than happy about that. That's why I'm mad at SWOTOR, because it's hard as hell to get the best ship weapons in the game, but you can go buy it for like $7.
That's bullshit.
That
That's such, yeah.
drives me bananas.
Makes you not want to play the game.
I know, and I like the game. It's a shame.
Well, and look at what the auction house did to Diablo.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if you look at the problems with Diablo and the auction house there, is the real issue the fact that there's an auction house versus the fact that there's a real money auction house? I don't think the fact that there's a real money auction house dramatically changed the gameplay experience. I think the fact that there's a global auction house in the first place is what really changed the gameplay experience.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's the fact that there's real money involved that's an issue, rather than the fact that you can just buy whatever and there's no limits to it. There's no earning involved, right?
Right, exactly. Because with Diablo, in the olden days, that's what the game was, grinding for better gear.
Right.
And now it seems like that's more or less gone.
It's a weird thing because while it does, like, you know, you can't argue that this doesn't improve your performance when leveling, right? Because clearly it would.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's something I might totally pay for. Like in a heartbeat.
I absolutely would. I mean, unless it's like $30 or something stupid.
Right, for an hour.
But yeah,
I could see it being like dramatically lower than that. You know, 50 cents? Why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny.
Sorry.
Exactly, yeah. But, I mean, Kyle, you were flirting with the idea of starting an entirely new character, and I don't know, man, if it was like $5 or something, like, I would totally get on this. If I was like, I'm going to finally level up that druid I've always talked about having, I would absolutely get on this.
Right, and I mean, they've done other stuff that's sort of vaguely similar that just required you to jump through more hoops before, you know, with the refer a friend and, like, setting up a separate account and transferring it over, and then, like... So, yeah. I mean, it sort of loopholes like this existed in the past. They're just making it more accessible.
Yeah. Oh, man, the recruiter friend loophole, I've done that a couple times. What a pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, the immediate 30 levels is kind of fun.
It is. It is quite nice. I remember the first time when that first came out. I loved it.
Are you guys hacking?
Yeah, I think it was with you. We were sitting in the store when you're just like, "Yeah, here's a bunch of levels," and some dude's like, "I'm reporting you."
It's like, okay.
It's like, okay, go right ahead. Be my guest. Fun stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In other news, Red Bull, Legendary Cloaks give you wings in 5.4. Finally got some footage of these wing animations that come with your new Legendary Cloaks, and they look pretty freaking cool and seem to be role specific.
So to clarify real quick, I don't think we're getting a weapon. I was wrong about that. It doesn't seem like the case.
How dare you?
I know.
You get me all excited.
I screwed up.
They gave some good explanations for why there won't be a weapon, though.
What, we're trying to mix it up more? I guess
well,
so.
That, and it's such a obtainable ultimate, and
Yeah,
it is your weapon, that you'll never trade it out, and you'll just keep upgrading. And a back, while it may be kind of lame, it's just a back. And if you have the best back in the world, then you never have to touch it again. And who cares? Weapons are one of those things you want to trade out every time you kill a new boss.
But if it's the
Right.
last raid of an expansion, who gives a crap?
Well, no, the argument was that you would keep upgrading the weapon that you got, you know, in Terrors of the Endless Spring, and then you'd upgrade it more and more and more and more, and then throughout the entire expansion, you'd have the same weapon, which is kind of dumb, right?
Yeah.
Whereas here, like, there's sort of a logical progression involved, and you know, I agree in that case. And I will say that the blow to me personally about not getting a weapon was severely cushioned by the spell cloak effects.
Yeah, they're sweet. They're really
They
freaking
are really dope.
sweet. One of them looks straight up Tyrael. Like, they're not even hiding it.
Right.
But it's a wonderful effect.
So basically, these things will pop up when you're so in the new upcoming patch. You'll eventually upgrade your current legendary cloak if you have it already, and you'll get a proc with it. They're tremendous. They're like extremely powerful. Like the tanking one is like the old Ardent Defender. It will literally save you from a killing blow. We
talked about them last week.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah.
But they're tremendous, and I guess these cool spell effects come with them, and they look awesome.
Yeah.
They're clearly themed after the August Celestials.
Yes.
Which is nice, because that's a cool bit of flavor.
Yeah, they look quite nice. I still want a weapon. I don't care. I would have been fine with that if it was the final thing you get from the legendary progression. I can understand not wanting to have the same damn weapon for the entire expansion.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
But whatever the case, it's badass. And finally, our for fun mention this week, or for unbelievable, is Death Knight was able to solo the Shaw of Fear in Terrace of the Endless Springs.
Have you guys watched this video?
I'm just now looking at it, and it's mind-boggling.
Skip to the latter third.
Like the spikiness of the damage. Like I'm watching his health bar, and it is giving me heart palpitations.
Okay, no. Skip to maybe the last 30 seconds of it.
Okay, what happened to the last 30 seconds?
Well, like you can't kill the ads in the fight.
So he just runs from them.
So he just runs from them, but they keep spawning infinitely.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm watching this. This is ridiculous. Oh my god.
You guys should definitely go watch
so
this.
much going on.
Right.
Yeah,
There's like 60 ads up, and they're all casting their AoE effects, and he's just barely dodging them all. And the very end, he manages to get the killing blow and dies at the same time.
Yeah, if you want to search for this, just search for DK Solo : Shaw of Fear. You'll you'll pick
and
it up.
it's fun, and it's totally worth watching.
Oh my god, he really did die with the killing blow. I hope he died a second beforehand, and it was really just like a frost fever tick that killed him or something.
Yeah, it looks like it could well have been. Like, it was extremely close.
That's how we killed Sindragosa, man. But with 10 people.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Our mage was the last one to go, and that last little frost bolt or whatever, she just like, killed Sindragosa. That was jump out of your chair kind of excitement.
Yep. It's a good feeling.
Yep, it is. It's good stuff. So, anyway, that wraps up the World of Warcraft news this week. Have fun attempting to solo Shaw of Fear, or don't, and just enjoy life. Oh, why did I play the... Oh, I played the wrong bumper. This is Diablo. What am I doing? Search. Hold that thought. It's time for StarCraft news. Beautiful thing. I'll be able to fix that in post. No one will ever know if I remember.
Remember, if you don't, just leave it in.
Yeah. Hot off the presses, there is a balance patch coming this week. Yes, that is right, everyone. You heard correctly. David Kim came down from the Blizzard mountaintop with new stone tablets. In this case, pertaining to StarCraft's balance, and those tablets red.
Yep.
As always, we've been keeping a close eye on the balance of things and have decided to address the issues concerning Terran and the Hellbat. Here are the thoughts.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Basically, David Kim's sick of death threats. No. He said, 1, Hellbat drops are mainly an issue for TVT.
The Protoss and the Zerg would beg to differ, but...
Everyone in this forum begged to differ. You could head on over right there, and I think the first thing, you're a liar, David Kim. 2, Terran isn't overperforming, so while nerfing Hellbats, we'd like to simultaneously push a buff to the Banshee. 3, we think seeing less Hellbat play in the early mid-game is not a bad thing, as other Terran harass options are a lot more interesting to watch.
This is interesting. Because at this point, absolutely they could just say, well, you guys aren't defending against them correctly, because we know how to defend against them, and everyone can do it fine. But it's so cool that this age of an esport that it's about how interesting it is to watch. I think this is the most important point of the 3 he's made so far.
I agree completely.
And we've seen this point made. It seems like almost every time they make a balance change.
And look at number 1. The issue is in TVT. That's not an issue. It couldn't possibly be an issue because it's balanced no matter what happens.
Right. Well, that's arguable. They're saying that the strategy is just overwhelmingly better than other ones, so that there's no reason to go anywhere else. They're not saying it's imbalanced. They're just saying like
boring.
It would be stupid to do anything else, which is inherently boring gameplay, right?
Right. That was. Think back to the early days of Wings of Liberty, Kyle. What was Protoss? It was 4-gate roulette.
Yeah.
And they had to make some changes because
technically
it was
balanced, but not really a whole lot of fun.
No, not fun at all. And we've been seeing this. If you watch a lot of Pro StarCraft and in our TVTs, we are seeing a lot of exact mirror openings.
No, it's like Hellbat beer pong. The 2 bases, they're just throwing Hellbats at each other. I landed in the cup, got some kills.
Yeah, some of them are super exciting, but other ones just get really sloppy really fast, and it just looks like people are making a lot of mistakes, and it's not fun. I would like to. Well, we should continue on to the actual changes that they're making because I think they're extremely elegant because they handle a whole bunch of issues with this, and they do it really, really well.
Right, real quick though, Kyle, if you bounce the Hellbat out just outside of the base and it lands in the base, does that count as 2 bases instead of 1 if it's Hellbat beer pong? And can you swat it away? Are you allowed to then interject a hand if it bounces?
No, but you're allowed to whip out your junk.
What?
To distract the other player.
What kind of beer pong do you play?
House rules, apparently.
They play testicle pong. That's what they're playing. Okay, moving on. Number 4. This change will also address any other lingering concerns we may have with Hellbats outside of TVT when it comes to early mid-game. Basically saying, I know I'm kind of lying with point 1.
Well, that's not entirely true, but like it's also addressing like all the people who are like, you're a liar, David Kim.
Well, exactly. That was the joke I was making.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were being serious.
No. He is saying, listen, we're not deaf. We're hearing everyone and their mother complaining. So, anyway, this is the changes they're making. Attack damage is being decreased from 18 plus 12 versus light to a base 18. But you can get that plus 12 back. You just have to research the Infernal Pre-Igniter, which previously, I don't think I've seen this upgrade in a pro game since Wings of...
I've seen it once in like a mech TVT where one of them went Hellbats and the other one went Hellions. Like it was weird.
Gotcha.
So, it wasn't very good, and I don't think it ended up working out.
Right, exactly. So if all of you out there are going, wait, I don't remember what the Infernal Pre-Igniter is, it was a buff on the Tech Lab. Where you could
still is.
Yeah, it is. I'm again joking because it hasn't been used hardly at all to give your Hellbats blue or your Hellions blue flame, and now is going to restore the plus 12 versus light bonus to Hellbat's attack,
which is great because it does a couple of things. It delays the strength of Hellbats in the early mid game, right? Mm-hmm. But you retain the power in the sort of later mid game and late game, right? So if you want to start when the other Zerg is on 6 bases and you want to start dropping like crazy, you can do that still. You know what I mean? It's just slightly less powerful in the really early part. And the other thing it does is it actually gives value to Infernal Pre-Igniter. It actually becomes a worthwhile upgrade again, and you don't feel like a complete idiot for getting it because eventually all your Hellions are going to be Hellbats anyway.
Right, exactly. And that 18 base damage is still not anything to scoff at. If you're dropping this on top of a worker line, this is still awesome.
Right, but like the plus 12 versus light is a pretty big difference.
Oh, I am aware of that. I'm just
being on the receiving end of that, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I've seen this happen a lot of times and cried as a result. I'm just saying it's not taking Hellbat completely off the menu for early game drops, but. Whatever the case, I just wanted to make that distinction. 18 damage is still a lot of damage. Let's talk about the Banshee buff, or decrease in cost, as it were. The cloaking field research is being decreased from 200. They're having a crazy sale. Everything must go, and slashing it in half to 100. Prices so crazy, you'd have to be insane not to buy.
Never buy the extras.
I just want to give a big welcome background of applause to the 48 killed Banshee, because I'm sure it'll be back.
I don't know. I mean, with Widow Mines and everything else going on, I feel like detection is so damn standard. This is a worthwhile decrease in cost just because the value of it has gone down.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Because right now we're not really seeing Banshees at all, are we?
No, I've seen them a few times. I tweeted this week. I've seen them a few times in team games, and it really throws me off. So I tweeted.
That unit still exists, right?
Yeah,
I remember that.
I was tweeting just like, is anyone else surprised when Banshees show up in your base? Don't these people know about freaking Hellbats?
Yeah, the second they get bad, you realize those fans don't make much sense in space.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, wow, sweet, yeah, Banshee's cool.
So I was thinking about the consequence of this, right? Cloaking Field being, reduced in cost, essentially. It's not like the Banshees are cheaper, and it's not like the time has been reduced either. So typically what happens when you get a Banshee with Cloak is you make a Banshee, and you start Cloak at the same time, and then your Banshee gets almost to their base, and then you make a second Banshee, and it almost gets to their base by the time or it should be at their base by the time Cloak finishes, right? The way the timing works out. Mm-hmm. So this basically reduces the cost dramatically, but it doesn't like you could theoretically get a third Banshee if you want, but
I was about to say, I mean, you are removing, with the exception of 50 minerals, the cost of another Banshee.
Sure, but the real problem is that the time to make the Banshee, because it's such a tight timing, really, right? And if you can either wait for 3 Banshees, but it's like doing like 6 DTs instead of 4 DTs. Like, I really hope this works,
Or yeah, we're usually getting in the base
missile turrets, right?
Exactly. Usually it's better to get in the base sooner.
Exactly. So what this does do, I think, and I really have no idea what I'm talking about, but what this does do is it reduces the risk that you take. So if it fails, you're not in the hole as much. You've got 100 gas that you put into different tech. Right, so it makes it more viable. It's like the reduction in cost for DTs. Like, it makes it like less totally all in if it doesn't work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, it allows you to tech more quickly and more fluidly without like sinking this massive boat of resources into like getting Cloak and hoping you get enough kills to make it live.
Warrant the cost. Yeah, exactly. It's less investment. You're now going to be a lot more inclined to take
Thank
this
you.
risk.
I could have said that in 3 words.
It's totally cool, because I hadn't even really thought of explaining it that way until you went on your Ben journey.
Right. But that's kind of an important, like, the missed opportunity cost is kind of an important thing when it comes to how I feel a lot of the pros are evaluating their decisions when it comes to, am I going to build Banshees or not, or anything else in the game for that matter. And something like what the old DT was, or what the Banshee was before this, very high risk, high reward. And they're like, since the reward is lower now, they've also lowered the risk with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle, any thoughts as a Zerg player? Are you like, oh no, Banshees are back?
No, not at all. I mean, this Banshee is going to show up at the same time, a medevac with a Hellbat, or a medevac with Widow Mines, or, with the Widow Mines there, you already need detection anyway. Like, I am so standard right now. I mean, if mutas show up, if oracles show up, like, there's no reason not to have at least one anti-air detecting thing in your mineral line right now.
Right. Yeah, same for, like, I've been playing a lot of Protoss 1s again recently, and there's, like, no build that I do that doesn't have easy access to detection at some point. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that you tech that you don't do that.
Yeah.
It's just too risky. Like, it's just an auto loss otherwise.
Yeah, I'm still playing a lot of Zerg, and I've yet to find a good reason to not build a Spore Crawler at every base.
Ben and I had some good games this weekend, actually.
Yeah, they were kind of fun.
No, nice.
Yeah, we're playing once, because I'm really bad at PvZ. Oh my god.
You guys had so much fun this Saturday without me. You bad.
Yeah, you missed out.
I told you, dude. Friday's my gaming day. You better hit 90 beforehand so I can help your ass out. So you had my schedule, sir.
Sorry you couldn't fit onto ours.
Yeah, well, we did do, 3 Shadow Pan Monastery runs in a row? I think I was exhausted by that point.
Yeah, we did 2 regulars, and then you hit 90. We're like, let's run heroic. What's it going to be?
So random.
Shadow Pan Monastery. Yeah. Exactly. Well, you needed the Valor, so had to hit that random button.
Yep.
Anyways, we're back on the subject of WoW, which means we're out of StarCraft news, and there's no Diablo news this week. So that brings us to the end of This Week in Blizz, episode 62. We hope you enjoyed this roundup of the weekly Blizzard news, and I think a rather lengthy dive into our personal Warcraft lives at the top of the show, but it was fun. It's
We had nothing else to talk about.
yeah, it's a light news week. So, nonetheless, if you want to write in, tell us that Kyle's playing the game wrong. Tell us that you got 8 out of 8 drops on Mogoshan Vaults. Anything like that. We'd love to hear from you guys. Write us at thisweekinbliss@gmail.com, and we will put it on the next show, respond to it. If it's a question, whatever. If it's an insult, we'll tell you to go screw yourselves.
Yep.
So... This Week in Blizz is a production of amove.tv. You can see more about the show over at thisweekinblizz.com. We record live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern over at amove.tv/live. You can follow us on Twitter at This Week in Blizz. I am at Garrett Art, Kyle is at Kyle Ferguson, and Ben is at Pixel Garbage. And you can check out our newest show over on amove.tv, the Campaign Roundtable, where tomorrow we will be starting our 2-part coverage of the modern 2013 release of Tomb Raider. The one that didn't have...
Madden.
No.
I'm like, Madden 2013. I'm like, really?
The campaign's sweet.
Yeah, I heard.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I paid $60 for a roster update. It's great.
Instead, we paid $60 to hear "I can do this" 100 times.
I can do this. My boobs aren't polygonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like the new Tomb Raider game quite a bit.
It looks super fun.
That being said, I hated every other Tomb Raider game ever made, so I went in with really low expectations. So
right, they distinctly remade it for a new sort of standard of gaming.
You're right. The fact that she doesn't control like a tank just made it so much better.
Oh, man. And then there isn't like a weird, like, I don't know who the Foley artist was who did the jump
dives.
No. The guy who did the sound effects for the jump in like the first couple of Tomb Raiders. It was like a guy throwing a wooden pallet across the floor. It made no sense. It was just like, how is this sound like? The person, you should look it up on YouTube or something. It's just so dumb.
I vaguely remember. I remember playing the demo for the first one on the old blue
like
clear iMac. You remember those like candy colored iMacs that look like an old TV? Yeah, I remember playing the demo quite a few times on that. But
yeah, it was just. I remember playing Tomb Raider 2. I had that. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a.
Well, I mean, for the time though, it wasn't the worst.
Just so I don't bring it up at all on tomorrow's show, I will say I'm going to try my best not to bring up Last of Us. Because if I bring up that I'm not going to bring up Last of Us, I'm bringing up Last of Us, and then we're going to be comparing Last of Us to Tomb Raider.
That game. So that game is so good.
Dude, it's like the camera alone. Like whoever's holding the camera in Tomb Raider is wearing like a squirrel suit. They cannot keep that thing down.
Can't say I noticed that, but all right.
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, and Last of Us, they do the hand camera, but it looks nice and realistic. But Tomb Raider, man, that thing's just all over. What you doing? What are you healing his leg, Laura? What you doing? What you doing? It's like, shut up.
Oh, you're
talking about like no, I'm not talking about the hand cam like in the game she's watching.
You're talking about the cinematics.
I'm talking about like actual
cinematics. Yeah, the cinematics had some rough cuts, but. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yep.
Tune into the Campaign Roundtable, amove.tv. Head on over there and bookmark that. Check out nomoonart.com for my graphic design work. And Kyle, where can people find you?
You can always find me at Biggest Fan Podcast. Last week we took it off. Brockett was surprised.
You got naked on Biggest Fan?
Well, I did have 2 days to myself, so I wasn't going to announce that, but hey, I was naked for 46 hours straight, and I'm damn proud of that. I did have to break my fast to answer the door. So I was hoping for a full 2 days, but another time. Perhaps.
You could have done the peek around.
Goddamn FedEx guy.
Yeah. Well, no, I live in an apartment building. I would have had to make it downstairs to the glass door. There's no, that wasn't happening.
You can't bust people
Peek around or any like hello through the door to be had. So, I broke my. But I've got past 60. And when I'm retired, I can be naked all the time, just like my old neighbor in New Mexico used to be.
And
Oh,
on
there's
that
an anecdote in that.
on that note, thank you so much. Kyle's Nudity is brought to you by our fine sponsors, DoghouseSystems.com and TweakedAudio.com. Our code is TWIB, TWIB. That code gets you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. That same code will get you 30% off and free shipping off your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from TweakedAudio.com that come already with a lifetime warranty. So go check out Doghouse Systems, go check out Tweaked Audio, and we thank them for their support. Gentlemen, I will see you. Well, I'll honestly probably see you tonight in a dungeon or on a 3v3. I don't even know. We spent too much time together. Talk to you later. I'm sick of you. See you next week for episode 63 of This Week in Blizz. Good night.
Guys.
Take care.